Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Micaiah Miller, and I'm Caleb White's best man. I didn't expect people to cheer, but but when he first asked you to be his best man, I told him to pick someone else. However, he kept pestering me, and I said I'd do it under one condition. We got to make a video. I don't like doing speeches. It'll be super dope. I got hours of footage of our friendship and adventures, but knowing how traditional Caleb White is, I should have known he'd only go for a speech. I remember meeting Caleb and many of the other grooms we here. Originally, there were college ministry events where I would see them like off and on, but I would say our friendship primarily developed from playing basketball at NC State Carmichael. Back in those days, I was a certified hooper. Couldn't make a Division I roster, but I loved to play and look for the most competitive games I could find. And in that process, I found a few people that I had natural chemistry with. Eddie, for sure, you were one of them. It's my shooter, always making shots. And Caleb, you were my favorite person to play with. There was just a natural chemistry there. And I feel like when you play sports at a certain level, you can tell a lot about a person. Like, it's not an exact science, but you can tell if someone's like they're timid, like afraid of contact, or they're really smart about how they approach the game, or they're really intelligent. Or you can tell if they're hardworking, or like a total nut job and just give up on plays and crash out like hey, just don't go their way. And that's exactly how Caleb is. Like that fit. No, no. Scratch that. I mean, Caleb White fits the archetype of how he is as a person. He's hardworking, willing to pick up slack where necessary, and no matter whenever I play, I always stick you up, even if you weren't the best basketball player. So, fast forward a few years from that, we became roommates. I think my senior year, and there were four of us in the house: me, Caleb White, two of the groomsmen, Daniel Vanmont, and Gus Rosario, who are also single, by the way. So, if any of you guys have interest to, let me know. But yeah, it was an interesting time living with Caleb and the other guys. I didn't expect much because I was just looking to get out of my current roommate situation, which were a bunch of partiers, and I was just happy to be able to come home to a peaceful home, not have 20 people sleeping on my couch. But looking back, it was an answered prayer. For the first time in my life, like I didn't know how to get out of my old lifestyle, and I prayed about it, and God granted me that wish through Caleb White. I'm so happy for it. And yeah, our house wasn't just all Bible study. It was actually fun. Like I feel like it was, boy. I feel like Friday nights our place was a hangout spot. Like I come home from work, I didn't know if I'd expect maybe 10 people in the house, jumping in our ice baths or debating sports or really anything. But it was one of the best times of my life. And behind all the fun, it was something really genuine, and it was realer than I realized at the time. Um, and yeah, for the first time in my life, I was seeing people live out their faith genuinely, like getting up, reading the Bible, talking about their issues, areas they want to improve in, talking about how they want to share the gospel with other people. And it really put a spotlight on my life because I was just looking for cheap rent and a peaceful home. And they started asking me all these questions, like not in a prideful way, but like they were genuinely concerned about like my future and who I was. And I say it's exactly what I need to grow and change as a man. And now I'm here as Caleb White's best man. Who would have thought our casual chats in between basketball games would end like this? Um, and I think one of the reasons he did choose me as a best man because I was thinking about it for a while. Why didn't he me? Like honestly, I was late to the friend group. Like I felt like everyone else was way closer, but he chose me, and I realized a lot happened in a short amount of time. Um, Not just good, but bad as well. And Caleb was there for me during the lowest parts of my life. At the time, I believe it was my senior year. I tore my Achilles playing basketball course. And if you don't know anything about that injury, it's at least a year of rehab. So in school, tear my Achilles, get in a bad car accident, total my car. Luckily, by the grace of God, not a scratch at all. And then my mother was hospitalized, and I didn't know she'd like live for sure. And I was just frustrated, crashing out everywhere. I was not an easy person to love, and you were extending yourself to me, and I'll never forget that. So all that to say, Kate, this is the man that you married. Right. And I have to be honest, I wish I got to know more about you, but when Caleb first started dating you, he kept any info from about you like hidden treasure. I didn't even know he was dating you until the third date, if it was that secret. But I remember this was different this time because so as we lived together, we shared like utilities and all sorts of things. So I would let Kayla use my Amazon Prime account, and usually use it like infrequently. But I noticed he started to order a lot more things than usual. Well, I was like, it's kind of weird. I just casually asked him once. I was like, hey, what do you order? And then he mentioned like the name of some marriage book. And that's when I knew, oh man, this guy is serious. There's only a couple minutes in. He's already reading the Bam to there's but I'm glad God brought you two together. You guys have a natural chemistry. I love how you guys love to worship and fellowship amongst other believers. It's one of the things I hope to have in my marriage. And I'm glad Caleb found you worthy to be his bride. Yeah. And in conclusion, not just you, but and the groomsmen, I love all the time we spent together in our lives that we'll never get back. I really cherish it. It was many fun adventures that'll just stay on my phone hard drive. And yeah, so if you ever need help with anything, like I'm there from a baby shower to moving a house. You know, you don't have to mention I'm there. And also, if Caleb ever gets in your nerves, I have hours of footage of Gus putting him in headlocks, after playing our toxic Mario Kart tournaments. So if you ever need a laugh, let me know about that. So if you could raise your glasses to cheer to the white man.
Oh. Hello, all. Oh, I'm like taking the moment that they took to just like look at all of you guys, because I'm just so thankful that you're here. So I was thinking I didn't need to introduce myself because let's be honest, about 70% of you guys go to Midday Church and you already know who I am. And if you don't, come see me. Let's hang out. But you also basically know how Kate and I are the same person. But for those of you that I haven't had the privilege to meet, I'm Hannah, and I had the absolute honor of standing beside Kate today as her maid of honor, ride or die, her career partner, and her best friend. As a disclaimer, unlike Micaiah, I did not go the story-led route or the silly route, but grab a tissue, because I went the sappy route. You always hear stories about best friends who meet on the playground in first grade or during the awkward middle school years or in the chaos of freshman year. And then they grow up side by side until one of them ends up standing right here, holding a microphone, trying to put words to a friendship that shaped their life. But that's not really how it went for us. Kate and I met just about 4 years ago, and surprisingly, she wasn't actually my first friend at Hosea, which is just like crazy to think about. But I think the Lord knows after who He's doing, because our friends would not have known what to do if they had the two of us any earlier than that. He waited until we had become whole people on our own, and they gave us the gift of choosing each other as best friends. And y'all, it was instant. I'm glad I made it further than I thought I would. Hey, you didn't see any of the literally hundreds of photos that we posted. Kate and I went on a trip to Maine last summer. The whole idea stemmed from the fact that Kate had an expiring flight credit, and I am always down to book a flight, literally anywhere. We had an incredible time doing all the tourist things, biking 40 plus miles through Acadia, but I ended up hating the $50 market price lobster roll, and Kate introducing me to the beauty of tote bag. But it was also just a sweet time to slow down from the day to day, have intentional conversations, and make so many fun memories together. Kate, I never have to ask you to be a good friend or a good listener or advice giver. You just always. Your presence is steady, your encouragement is fierce, and your kindness is effortless. Even on the days you say you're not at 100%, you still show up for the people you care about. And even for the ones that we jokingly say are a little bit harder to love. You constantly teach me what true selflessness looks like. You show me that it's possible to support people well without losing your own joy. And I thank God constantly that he brought us both to the same church at the right time and the right season. Proverbs 13:20 says, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. This verse is basically saying that you are who you surround yourself with. And thank God that's you. If I'm even a fraction of the woman that you are, I'm thankful for who I'm becoming because of who you are. I will never forget when we went to the fair in 2023. We were riding to like 2-person flyer ride, and Kate turns to me. And it's just the two of us, and she goes, I had something to tell you, but you can't tell anyone. And I responded, as I always do when Kate says that, who am I going to tell if you already know? Then she proceeds to tell me that it's nothing, because obviously that helps it feel a little less scary. But she said that she thinks Caleb is so cute and kind, and she wonders if he thinks the same about her. Fast forward to the 2024 fall retreat. It's the last day. Kate and I are ready to hit the road. And Kate went inside. She used the restroom before we leave. And she comes out and she's like, you're never going to believe this happened. And I'm like, tell me everything. Caleb saw Kate come back inside and waited just outside the bathroom because what other crazy's there? He was ready, dog. And he grabbed Kate when she came out and asked her on a date. Shout out to David for telling the men to just go for it. Hosea Menace, go. Then you had your first date at Heirloom, and when I got the lowdown the next day at Burped on Sunday, I could simply hear it in her voice. She didn't just tell me that he was kind, that conversation was good, or that he bought her an oat milk vanilla latte. She told me that Caleb would be a good husband. The Lord has been writing this part of your story long before either of you knew it, shaping you, Caleb, to become Kate's husband, to love her unconditionally, to lead her gently, to point her to Jesus every single day. He's been growing and preparing you, Kate, to become a wife with the same tender, intentional heart you've always had and prayed to all of us. So before I wrap up, there's a few people that I wanted to thank. To Kate's parents, and to whom I affectionately refer to also as my own. Thank you for raising Kate to be a woman who lives and loves with a heart fully anchored in Christ. Her strength, her gentleness, her loyalty, they are all reflecting of the home that you built and the faith that you modeled for her, even on the imperfect days. The way you've poured into her life has shaped who Kate is, and now the wife she'll be. That she is. She's married, y'all. And I'm so grateful for y'all. To Caleb's parents, thank you for raising a man who loves others with honor, steadiness, and intentionality. It's clear that who he is today is because of the values and love that he was surrounded by growing up. You've helped lay the foundation for Caleb, who sees Kate clearly and cherishes her deeply, and that's a gift to all of us who love her. And to all of you here today, thank you. Whether you're family, friends, mentors, stroke here from PA, or you're someone who simply showed up with open arms along the way, you've each been a part of their story, and that's why you're here. You've encouraged them, prayed for them, laughed with them many times, cried with them, and helped them become the people they are today. You being here isn't just to show support, it's a reflection of all the ways you've loved them, helped guide them, and the lead in the kind of love they're celebrating today. It's a joy to be in a room full of people who care for Kate and Caleb just as much as I do. And so, to the new Mr. and Mrs. White, may your life together be rooted in joy, grounded in grace, and fiercely centered on Jesus. May your home be a place of laughter, peace, and intentional conversation. And may you never stop choosing each other on the easy days and the hard ones, over and over again. Kate, if we had 100 lifetimes to live, I'd still hope you'd be my best friend at every single one. And Caleb, you can be her husband at every single one too. So, if you would all raise the thoughts of me to the newlyweds, here's Steve.
I love